Hey everyone, welcome back to Ya's English. Today we're going to talk about something that almost everyone struggles with, overthinking. You know that feeling when your brain just won't stop talking? When you keep replaying a small mistake again and again in your head? Yeah, that's overthinking.
Exactly. It's like your mind becomes a noisy room full of what ifs and should haves. You can't relax and you can't focus on what's in front of you. Sometimes you even make problems that don't exist just because your brain won't stop creating them.
That's true. Overthinking usually happens when we care too much about something. A job interview, a relationship, a test, or even a small decision like sending a message. You think, what if I say the wrong thing? What if they don't like me? What if I fail?
And those what ifs never end, right? They just go around and around like a broken record. The more you think, the more worried you become, and the harder it is to take action.
Exactly. And the funny part is, most of the things we worry about never actually happen. Studies show that around 90% of the things people overthink about don't come true. That means we're wasting a lot of energy on things that don't even exist.
I can totally relate. There were times when I couldn't sleep because I kept replaying conversations in my head. I'd think, why did I say that? Or maybe I sounded stupid. But the next day, I realized no one even remembered it.
That's so real. We're often much harder on ourselves than other people are. We expect perfection, even though being human means making mistakes.
Exactly. And that's why overthinking can be so harmful. It doesn't only waste time, it also kills confidence. You start doubting your choices, your words, even your value.
Yes, it's like a prison built by your own thoughts. The more you think, the smaller your world becomes. You stop taking risks, you stop learning, you stop living freely.
That's such a powerful way to describe it. A prison in your own mind. And the sad part is, most of us don't even realize we're doing it. We think we're just being careful or smart, but really, we're overanalyzing everything.
Exactly. There's a big difference between thinking carefully and overthinking. Thinking carefully helps you make good decisions, but overthinking stops you from making any decisions at all.
Right. Overthinking often comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. We believe that if we think more, we can avoid mistakes. But in reality, no amount of thinking can give us total control.
That's so true. Sometimes we just need to accept that not everything can be perfect. Life is full of uncertainty, and that's okay.
I love that. I think the first step to stopping overthinking is to notice it. You can't fix something you don't see. So maybe next time when your mind starts running too fast, just pause and ask yourself, am I thinking or am I overthinking?
Exactly. Awareness is the first key. Once you can see what's happening inside your mind, you can start to take control.
That's a perfect place to start. And in the next part, we'll talk about why we overthink and how understanding that can help us stop it.
So stay with us. You're listening to Ya Englis, and this is How to Stop Overthinking, Part 1. In the last part, we talked about what overthinking is, how it keeps us trapped inside our own minds. But today, let's go a little deeper. Let's ask ourselves the big question. Why do we overthink in the first place?
That's a great question because overthinking doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It comes from something inside us. I think one big reason is fear.
Yes, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. For many of us, it starts in childhood. We learn that mistakes are bad, so we try to avoid them at all costs. But when we grow up, that same mindset becomes a problem.
Exactly. Like when you're learning English, you might think I can't speak because my grammar isn't perfect. But that fear of being wrong makes you overthink every word before you speak. And in the end, you don't speak at all.
Yes, that's one of the biggest examples of how overthinking stops growth. We want everything to be perfect, so we do nothing. We plan, we prepare, we imagine, but we never act.
And sometimes it's not just fear, it's also pressure. The world today moves so fast. Everyone is chasing success, and social media makes it worse. You open your phone and see other people doing great things, so you start comparing. You think, why am I not like them?
That's so true. Comparison is one of the main reasons people overthink. You see others' highlights, not their struggles, and suddenly you feel behind. You start doubting your path, your speed, your choices.
Exactly. But we forget that everyone's journey is different. What's right for someone else might not be right for us.
Yes, and another reason people overthink is because they want control. We want to control how things go, how people see us, how life turns out. But the truth is, we can't control everything.
That's a tough one to accept, isn't it? Especially for people who like planning. You want to be ready for every situation. You think that by analyzing everything, you can avoid pain. But the more you try to control, the more anxious you become.
Exactly. Because control is an illusion. You can plan, prepare, and hope, but life always has surprises. That's what makes it beautiful and scary at the same time.
So maybe the real reason we overthink is that we don't trust ourselves or life enough. We don't believe we can handle things when they go wrong, so we try to think our way out of every problem.
Wow, that's deep and so true. Overthinking is often not about the situation, it's about us. It's about our relationship with uncertainty.
Yes, we fear what we can't predict, but life is full of unpredictability. The only way to live freely is to accept that not everything will make sense, and that's okay.
I love that. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be imperfect. Once we accept that, overthinking starts to lose its power.
Exactly, because when you accept yourself, you stop fighting your thoughts. You start listening to them with kindness instead of fear.
Beautifully said. So, in short, we overthink because of fear, pressure, comparison, and the need for control. But the good news is, once we understand these reasons, we can start to change them.
Right, awareness is power. When you understand why you do something, you can begin to choose differently.
And that's what we'll talk about next: how to stop overthinking. Simple, practical ways to calm your mind and take back control of your thoughts.
Yes. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us for part 3, how to stop overthinking. You're listening to Ya Englis.
In the last part, we talked about why we overthink: fear, pressure, comparison, and the need for control. Now let's focus on what we can actually do to stop it.
Yes, because the truth is, we can't stop thinking completely. Our mind will always produce thoughts, but we can learn to manage them, not let them control us.
Exactly. So here's the first step. Notice your thoughts without judgment. When you catch yourself overthinking, just say to yourself, okay, I'm thinking a lot right now. Don't call it bad. Don't fight it. Just notice. Awareness is always the first step to change.
Right, because when we fight our thoughts, they grow stronger. But when we simply notice them, they lose their power. You can imagine your thoughts like clouds. They come and go, and you don't have to hold on to them.
I love that image. Second step, breathe and come back to the present. Most overthinking happens because we live in the past or the future. We replay old mistakes or worry about what might happen. But the present moment is where peace lives.
Yes. Try this simple exercise. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel your body, your surroundings, your breath. When you do this, your mind slowly calms down.
Step 3, take small actions. Overthinking makes you stuck in your head. The only way out is through action. Do one small thing. Make a call, write an email, speak one English sentence, or take a walk. Action creates clarity.
That's powerful because when we act, we break the loop of thinking. Even a small step shows your brain that you can handle things.
Exactly. And step 4, be kind to yourself. Many people think being hard on themselves will help them do better, but it does the opposite. It creates fear. The kinder you are to yourself, the braver you become.
Yes, kindness is confidence. When you say to yourself, it's okay to make mistakes, you start to relax. And when you relax, you think more clearly and naturally.
Finally, step 5, set time limits for thinking. If your brain keeps going in circles, give it a boundary. Tell yourself, I'll think about this for 10 minutes, and then stop. This trains your mind to let go when the time's up.
That's such a great tip because overthinking is like a muscle. The more we practice stopping it, the stronger our mental control becomes.
Exactly. So to sum up, 1, notice your thoughts. 2, breathe and stay present. 3, take small actions. 4, be kind to yourself. And 5, set limits for thinking.
Beautiful. Remember, you don't have to change overnight. Just practice one small step every day. Over time, your mind will learn to stay calm and clear.
That's right. You're not your thoughts. You're the one listening to them. And once you understand that, overthinking can no longer control you.
Perfectly said. Stay with us for part 4, where we'll explore new vocabulary from today's episode and learn how to use them in real conversations.